say than to you he has said, you who unto Jesus for refuge have fled. Third verse. When through fiery trials thy pathway shall lie, my grace all sufficient shall be thy supply. The flame shall not hurt thee, I only design thy dross to consume, and thy gold to refine. Last verse. The soul that on Jesus had leaned for repose, I will not desert to its foes. That soul, though all hell should endeavor to shake, I'll never, no, never forsake. Thank you. Have a seat. Let's go to the Lord in prayer. Does anybody have a spoken prayer request? Okay. 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 Pray for peace in your heart for them. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Keep Bruce and Patty in your prayers for the health conditions. Yeah, he had, but it's just keep praying for him that for pain relief, we'll put it that way, more than anything else. That's and for guidance, what they're supposed to be doing, because they're. I don't think at this time. I don't think he's going to do any more treatments or anything like that. It's just pray for his pain relief. And I'm not sure if he's going back to work yet. He was trying to go back to work. Did he always start again? Yeah, he wants to work. He enjoys his work, and that's. I mean, he drives and there's big tanker trucks and chemicals and whatever. I mean, he's told me about driving to. Yeah, they did, but they don't own their business. They've sold their own trucks, and he's working for like Daniel Transport or someplace. But he used to go to like to Maine, and then they put him on a big transport that goes over to Iceland or Greenland or someplace like that. Newfoundland, I forget where it was that he would get to take the tanks over there and stuff. You know, anything, what an experience of life. But he enjoys his driving, and that's what he likes to do. So everything's local now. Yeah. He's not a big road. Yeah. pray for the lost in our community. I was talking to a guy today. I didn't go to the house to witness to him. I went to the house to do something else, and there was a man there, and opportunity arose. I got to witness to this guy, and he's good, just a good guy, a very good neighbor, whatever. But he's lost. And he said, "Yes, someone talked to me about that before." One of his coworkers. He's retired now. One of his coworkers talked to him about it years ago. He said, "I'm not ready yet." I said, "Man, what are you waiting on? Today's the day." And I told him that. I said, "Today's the day. Why not today?" He says, "There's a couple of things that I don't do that's right." I said, "There's things we all do that's not right." Yeah, that's my thinking. So, and then I talked to another. I went to another house. A young man was there today. They came here a lot during his teenage years. A fine young kid when he was a teenager. He was into Christmas plays. We joked about. He still remembers his lines from the Christmas play, 8 years ago, whatever time frame that was. But they're out of church, and he said, "I need something." I said, "Yeah, this is what you need. This is what you just come, and that they need help." So just pray for these. There's a lot of young. If you think of it, there's been times where we had 100 kids here at different times, and most of them are young adults now. And just pray for those people that they're out in the community, and they think, "Yeah, I need to." Okay, if you think of somebody that needs a visit or a phone call, go see them, send them a card, give them a phone call, whatever. If you want to go, you want me to go, I'll go with you, or you tell me who to go see or whatever. I'll be glad to go. So just keep those people in your prayers, and especially for the lost in our community. This guy, the young man today that used to come, I was asking about salvation. He said, "Yeah." He sure was out. He said, "You and me took care of that." And I said, "Yeah, I remember." But he said, "You and me took care of that." I said, "I know. I just want to make sure you still understand and remember." He said, "Yeah, no doubt about his salvation, but he's just out of church. He needs to be in church." Okay? All right, anybody else with a spoken request? Let's go to the Lord in prayer. The Heavenly Father, thank you for the opportunity to be in your house, Lord. Thank you for giving us to us, and thank you for meeting every need. I pray for the physical needs that are mentioned, for Michelle and her physical needs, of Bruce and Patty, and the different ones. The surgeries that are coming up this week, the trials that people are going through that are not physical, but the stressful trials that are within our church family. I pray that you work in these situations in a way that brings honor and glory to you. I pray that you'll bless. I pray that you'll use us as a church family as we go out in the community this week, that we'll take every opportunity you give us to open our mouths and witness to the lost people. I thank you for giving us to us. Thank you for saving us and the wonderful life you've given us and the opportunity you've given us. I pray that you bless our church family tonight. Use us tonight for your glory. Use us throughout our lifetime for your glory. In Jesus' name we ask. Amen. Okay, let me get right to the message. Turn to Zechariah. Zechariah chapter 7. You go to Matthew and then go back. The book prior to Matthew is the last book of the Old Testament, Malachi, or a friend of mine from Italian friend from New York called it Malachi. Okay, turn to go to Matthew and then go back towards the front. Go find Malachi, then you'll find Malachi. Okay, how do you think Malachi should be pronounced Malachi? Well, you never know. It's just how we pronounce it. Okay. Okay, we're looking for Zechariah. Zechariah there's the book right before we search early. Charlie said, "Wait a minute, we're not Malachi. We're in Zechariah chapter 7. I'm going to read the first 7 verses. We'll try to get that on. And we got testimony where we're doing this. Charlie's going to try to get that on. Okay. Very good. Let's see. Anybody else? Charlie's still trying to get the internet working. Tim's going to help. Where's Jason when you need him? IT department. and sing another song while we're waiting. So that's probably what they're doing back here right now. Texting Dave or talking to Dave. It's not streaming the way it's supposed to. Just you'll have to watch it later. Okay. They're working on it. Alrighty then. Do we want to sing a song or you want to go right into the message? See if Charlie's coming in this way, we'll go ahead and go with the message. Okay. Okay, Zechariah chapter 7. I don't know what I want to leave her out and not. I don't want to sing a song or wait till he comes back in. They can hear me? They can hear me. Okay, Charlie's good. Okay, we're good now. Okay, Zechariah chapter 7. I won't go back and review what they couldn't hear before over the internet, so that for those who are sick or have a sick child at home can be. Okay, Zechariah chapter 7, we'll read the first 7 verses. Here we go. And it came to pass in the 4th year of King Darius that the word of the Lord came to Zechariah in the 4th day of the 9th month, even Chislev, when they had sent unto the house of God Sherezer and Regimelech and their men to pray before the Lord, and to speak unto the priests which were in the house of the Lord of hosts, and to the prophets, saying, Should I weep in the 5th month, suffering myself as I have done these so many years? Then came the word of the Lord of hosts unto me, saying, Speak unto all the people of the land, and to the priests, saying, When ye fasted and mourned in the 5th and 7th month, even those 70 years, did ye at all fast unto me, even unto me? And when ye did eat and when ye did drink, did not ye eat for yourselves and drink for yourselves? Should ye not hear the words which the Lord hath cried by the former prophets when Jerusalem was inhabited and in prosperity, and the cities whereof round about her, when men inhabited the south and the plain? Stop reading right there. Heavenly Father, thank you for your word. I pray your blessing in the next few minutes of preaching of your word, and help us draw close to you and understanding your will for our lives. I pray your blessing and use this for your glory. In Jesus' name we ask. Amen. Okay. This year, we read in the first couple verses, this is under Darius, the 4th year of Darius. He's a Persian king. So the children of Israel were carried into captivity for 70 years, and they were carried into Babylonian captivity, which is, if we look on a map, today's map, that would be the Iraq, okay? And they were carried there in captivity because Nebuchadnezzar reigned over all the known world at that time, and so while he reigned, the ruling city was in Babylon. And at the end of his reign, at the end of the Babylonian reign, the Persians reigned, and that Darius was the king of Persia, and which would be more in Iran, which is a different nationality of people, different group of people, but that's the time period. While the children of Israel were in captivity now for 70 years, and I don't know, when I read this, I can't figure this out, if the 70 years has passed, because he has said in this one verse, he said, what we read, he said, Did you not fast unto me for 70 years? That during 2 months of the year, the 5th month and 7th month, you had a time of fasting. That doesn't mean that everybody fasted during that time, or fasted the entire time for a 2 months time period. But he said that you had a time period for 70 years when you fasted and you prayed and you asked me for something, but you did it in a different way. Okay, for 70 years they've gone through this. They desired to go into fasting and praying when they were in captivity. They're asking to go back to Israel, to Jerusalem, and they present their request before God publicly. And people love to do things publicly. Some people like to pray publicly. Some people like to present their petitions before God and before everybody else at the same time. Okay, and it was for them. It was all public. And God said in these verses, He said, "When you fasted unto me." Let's read the words again. I'm going to read it this way. Middle verse 5. When you fasted and mourned in the 5th and 7th month, even those 70 years, did you at all fast unto me, even unto me? Verse 6. And when you did eat and you did drink, did you not eat for yourselves and drink for yourselves? Didn't you just do what you wanted to do? Okay? Should you not hear the words which the Lord cried by the former prophet? Okay, stop reading like that. When you fasted unto me, God said, were you really fasting unto me? Here are people that are taken from their homes in Jerusalem, they're carried away into Babylon, and in 2 months out of the year, the 5th month and the 7th month,
They spend time periods fasting and praying. Okay? But God said, you weren't even talking to me. You were giving up food or giving up whatever you were going to give up during your fasting time. It was all for public perception. It was all just so everyone could see what you were doing. And God said, you didn't fast unto me. And when you had your feast days, when you ate and drank, you were eating and drinking, you were eating and drinking to yourself, you weren't really fasting, you weren't having a feast day unto me. Something like this. I kind of wonder sometimes in Christianity today, how much of what we do is just because it's the show or that's what we do. That's what God was saying to Israel. He said, this is why you're doing what you're doing. You understand? This is why you did this for 70 years that had nothing to do with me. You fasted during this time period, or you had these feast days. When Jesus went to Jerusalem during the Passover, he was running people out with a whip, running people out of the temple because they were there. It was like a flea market, and they were just selling lambs, they're selling their doves as a sacrifice. It was all just for show or just for monetary gain. And he ran them all out of the temple. Okay, we think the temple is just being a building like this size. It was huge. Okay, the whole compound of the temple. When you did it, you weren't doing it to me at all. Okay, they had religious practices. There were formalities. It was futile. They had extra biblical things that they did. Had nothing to do with the Bible. They just did it. That's because what they were taught to do was everyone else was doing it. God had determined 70 years of captivity was heading their direction before they went there, and there was nothing they could ask him that's going to change his mind. There was no way that when they went basically in bondage into captivity, that they're going to come back in 69 years or 68 years or 5 years or 2 years or whatever. I remember, I think we preached a couple weeks ago about Jeremiah, where one of the false prophets was saying, we're going to go back within 2 years. And Jeremiah said, it's not going to happen. Amen, brother. So be it, but it's not going to happen. And most of Christianity comes down to this formality thing. Check the box for what I'm supposed to be doing. So everyone knows I've done what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay? One side of me hates the formality. Okay? Whether you eat or drink, personally speaking now, whether you eat or drink or fast or mourn or sing or rejoice or afflict your soul, is it to God? When you fast and pray, do you ever think about God? Is it to God? I want to honor you and glorify you with what I'm doing. When you pray, are you asking, seeking, and knocking for God's will? Or are you just asking, like Reverend Genie's Aladdin's lamp, waiting for a genie to pop out and give me my 3 wishes? When you pray and ask, is it just for public show? Just say, God, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. He said, won't you ask what I want? Won't you seek my will? Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. Won't you ask what I want you to have? I'll give you more than what you ask for. I'll give you better than what you could ever ask for. All you got to do is ask me. He said, verse 7, he said this, should you not hear what the words which the Lord had cried by the former prophets when Jerusalem was inhabited and in prosperity and all the cities round about them, when men inhabited the south and the plain? And God reminded the children of Israel, when you were back in Jerusalem and God was prospering the nation, when you had David as your king and you couldn't lose a battle, when all his enemies were like Goliath and fell before him, when you had Solomon as your king and your nation was blessed with riches, financial riches, did it mean anything to you at all? Why didn't you listen to the prophets when you had a prosperous and spiritual nation? And God said, I sent prophets unto you in former days, when the days when that land was prosperous, when I sent people to you. Why didn't you listen to what they said? When Brother Mike Blake was here this morning, he talked about McDowell County, and he said there, in Welch, he said there's no gospel preaching churches in Welch that he could find anywhere. They did their survey, they went around. There's one church that has 6 people that attend on Sunday morning. They haven't had a preacher. Some of you heard the story from. They haven't had a preacher there in 8 years. They haven't had a pastor in 8 years. Other preachers have come in and preach for them and try to help them out once in a while, but they really don't have a pastor, and there's nobody preaching the gospel within the town, within the city limits. He also said that at one point there was, in the community, I think he said there was close to 100,000 people. Now, in 1950, the coal mines were booming. Now it's down to about 18,000 people. I think it's like 14,000, 18,000 people in the whole community. God could say the same thing for that community and say, you know, back yonder, when you were prosperous, everybody was working, and the churches, some of the churches were full, and I've got a good friend, real good friend who grew up in Welch. He talked about, he doesn't live there now. I work with him, see him every week, but he and I talked to his dad. They were real busy in their church 20 years ago. So at one point, that thriving community had a gospel witness in their community. We know that we had at least one church that preached the gospel and people were getting saved in that community years ago. Okay, and we know that they were a prosperous community. Man, it was a boom town. If you've ever driven down through there, I remember when I was a kid, we used to go to ghost towns. We used to go to travel with Uncle Clyde out west. We'd take like 3 weeks vacation, ride in the station wagon, and go to these ghost towns and different places out in Wyoming or different places. The places that were boom towns, and now it's just tumbleweeds blowing down the street. And you get the same effect if you drive across, I think it's Route 52, through Keystone and Welch and these other places down through there. And it's kind of the same thing where it's almost like a ghost town as you drive through. I sell business. I sell printing to businesses. I used to go to a bank down there. The Fed shut them down a few years ago. Like 10 years ago. The Fed shut them down. But driving through there, just 10 years back, I remember going by and saying, man, but that was nice one time. But that was nice one time. There's a nice church. Look at the boards on the windows. Okay? There's a nice business. There's no business there now. All the windows are busted out. You know, it's a new place for homeless people. But the homeless people can't stay very long because there's nobody else working to feed them, right? You can only have homeless people staying in the community if there's working people there to feed them. But once the working people all leave, then the homeless people have absolutely nothing, right? So you understand this. And God said, I sent prophets to Jerusalem when you are prosperous. And I blessed your nation under David and Solomon and all the kings. Or I blessed your nation under my people. Why didn't you listen back then? Okay? You should have hearkened unto me. Looking back at the time of prosperity. They had abundant life. They had an abundant economy. Had abundant spiritual leaders. But they didn't seek God's will when things were good. They didn't. Most people were just happy with the businesses doing well. We sold a lot of lambs this year at the Passover. Okay, we sold a lot of doves this year at the Passover. Boy, our businesses prosper, and that's all that mattered to them. Okay, and God said, now what you got? Now you got tumbleweeds rolling down the street. There's nothing left of your walls. There's nothing left of your temple. It's all been destroyed in Jerusalem. Okay, nations that are in prosperity, but every man sought his own benefit and got it wrong. And God said, okay, I'll give you what you want, okay? But it's not going to be the prosperity that you have had. If that's true, does God profit when we tithe? Does God get money out of it when we tithe? None, does he? He doesn't need it. He spoke the world into existence. He doesn't need our tithe. He tells us to do stuff for our benefit, but really, if we write the check out just to write a check out, write the check out and say, you said do this, I want to do what you want me to do. That's really what it comes down to. In every area of your life, we're just saying, I don't know, I don't understand this, but you said do this, I'll do it. Okay? It's really, wherever you want me to go, I'll go. Does God need our offerings, sacrifices? No. Does he need for us to fast? No. He doesn't need for us to, well, we may need to. Yeah, maybe. Still don't say that one. Okay? Does he drink the blood of the bulls and goats? Nope. Psalmist in the Psalms he said, I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need the blood offerings. I don't need the gift. Okay? I don't need that. I want to bless you for doing it. Does he need our stuff as offering? Nope. Doesn't need it at all. But he says, I want you to have it. I want you to bring it. Okay? Because the only thing that matters to God is their relationship. In this relationship. Okay? To walk with him. When he created the Garden of Eden, spoke the worlds into existence, created the Garden of Eden, put man in the midst of the garden, put Adam in the midst of the garden, he came down and walked, the whole purpose, to walk with Adam, okay, for the fellowship. We're created in his image for the fellowship. And it's not about gifts or offering sacrifices or anything else. It's not about fasting so everyone knows we're fasting. Jesus told people, he said, if you're going to fast, don't walk around the front of your face and say, I can't eat anything, I'm fasting. It's not for public show. If you're going to fast, is just say, okay, God, between me and you, I'm asking you to do this thing, because one verse, couple of verses on this, but Jesus said, this kind cometh forth but by prayer and fasting. So there's times when God says, if you really wanted me to do something here in this situation, most people I talked to today said, unless God acts on something, nothing's going to happen. If you really want me to do something in this situation, fast and pray about it. Okay? Just beg me. Get my attention. So you're just like Adam walking with Jesus in the Garden of Eden. Want this fruit? Yeah, I want the fruit, but I don't really need the fruit. Want these vegetables? Yeah, I like the vegetables, but I don't really need the vegetables. What I need is a fellowship. Okay? You want me to tithe? Yeah, you tithe. I don't need your money. I just want you. Well, the house put it this way. I remember he preached this. He said, does God want 10%? Yes, he does. But he doesn't want 10%. He wants 100%. He doesn't just want the money in your wallet. He wants your wallet. He doesn't just want the wallet. He wants the pants that are carrying the wallet. He wants the man that's wearing the pants. And he wants everything about you. He wants you to be dedicated, sold out, completely to him. So that when Jerusalem's in prosperity, and you're listening to your pastor or your spiritual leaders, or when Jerusalem's in prosperity and God sends prophets to you and says, this is what I want you to do, God can speak to your heart because you're in fellowship with him, and you say, yeah, I want this. It's not public. Whatever you want. In your heart of hearts, you're saying, whatever you want. Wherever he leads, I'll go. Wherever he leads, I'll go. I'll follow my Christ who loves me so. Wherever he leads, I'll go. Walk with him. It's a fellowship, man. You fast unto him. And he told these people, it's great that you're religious, but you're not fasting unto me. You're not even asking me. Fast unto him. Worship. And I read this in a book this week, and I never thought of it. Last week, maybe. I never thought of it until I read this from a preacher, Bob Gray, Longview, Texas. I never thought of this statement until I read it in his book. Almost every verse in Scripture talks about worship. Public worship is not unto God. Almost every place in Scripture it talks about public worship, where groups get together and worship. They're worshiping idols. We find worship most often in Scriptures where one person runs into him and bows down and worships. It's a one-on-one worship. Is a one-on-one thing with you and God. And we have a lot of times we call our Sunday morning service, we call it our worship service. Most every church in the nation does this. We call Sunday morning 11 o'clock. We call it the worship service, the worship hour. But most often, most worship is one-on-one, you and God, that personal relationship at home. And when you're driving down the road, when you're seeking His will, you say, you realize it's a gratitude attitude. It's not public. It's private. When you realize everything I have is because of you. All my joy that I have is because of you. The suit that I have on, the car that I drive, the job that I have, the family that I enjoy, whatever it is that I have, it's all because of you. Thank you. It's worship. That's bound. It's a private thing. It's not. We ask for testimonies. We love the testimonies when people testify in church. But really, worship comes in. Maybe that's rare. It's just you and God. Here's the next thing. Look, verse 8. We'll read a couple more verses. 8 through 11. And the word of the Lord came to Zechariah, saying, Thus speaketh the Lord of hosts, saying, Execute true judgment, and show mercy and compassion, every man to his brother. And oppress not the widow, nor the fatherless, the stranger, nor the poor. And let none of you imagine evil against his brother in your heart. But they refused to hearken. Look up this way. Here's people. I've read this. I don't know how many times I've read this Zechariah by myself. I'm a personal reading, dozens of times. Charlie, here's people that are willing to fast for a month. However many days during that month, or for 2 months, so many days in a row, whatever. They're ready to fast. God said, I want you to treat your brother right. And they said, they refused to listen. They're willing to let everybody know they got a sad face. Oh, I'm fasting, I'm famished, I'm about to die. Okay? They're willing to let everyone know they're fasting during the month's time because everybody's doing it. And God says, but I want you to treat this person over here well. I want you to treat them. I want to treat them. I want you to have compassion on that guy. And they said, nah, it's not for me. I'll never have compassion on that guy. I was at a gas station the other day. I get convicted of just reading stuff like this, and that's what I'm supposed to be doing, having compassion on people. I didn't tell them about this one because they've written down the checkbook yet. I hadn't time to write the checkbook yet. I was at that sheet station. I think it's a sheet station right there by Rural King. I had a company van. I was filling up on gas. I get ready to go out of town. I'm in a hurry. I'm always in a hurry when I'm in a van, in a work van. So I'm pumping gas. I'm almost done. Some guy walks up to me and he said, "You need to buy any tools?" I said, "You got to work. You need to buy any tools?" "Nope, I don't need nothing. There's nothing that I need." And he said, "I got a truckload of tools." And my first thought is they're stolen, right? I mean, I've had that before. Got some good deals that way, Charlie. But they may be hot. Great deals in the parking lot. So I don't need tools. He said, "I just need to buy some diesel. I need to get back to North Carolina." He said, "You don't have any money?" He said, "I got robbed." He said, "I don't have my phone. I don't have my wallet. My truck was robbed. Most of my tools are gone. I was working in Dayton, Ohio, and someone cleaned me out of everything that I had in the truck." And I said, "I'm a preacher. I don't have any money. And I can be real spiritual about it. I don't have any money. I can't help you. Bless you, brother. Be you warmed and filled." Okay, that's what most preachers would say. You know, that's what we do. It's not a public thing. No one's going to see me do this. It's a police truck on the other side of the pump because he's parked down at the end. He don't think he's up to the pump yet. So he pulled up the side down the other side of the pump down, and so I sucked my card in. One side he says, "Use the company card." Because no one cares, right? Okay, the bosses don't care if I use company card. They don't care if I give a $100 gift away to somebody like that. It doesn't matter. But one side of him said, "Use the company card." And I said, "Thank you, dude. It's somebody else's money. You want me to get my money, right?" So I stuck my card in. Said, "Guess that." He said, "How much?" I was talking. Okay, and I looked. He has a suitcase. He's got some tools in the back of the truck. Nice tools, what he had left, whatever. Probably mine. The dashboard's gone off his truck. He has a screwdriver in the steering column to start it, and there's a cable that goes from the steering column down where you shift that goes down underneath. And he said, "I got to do this to put it apart. He's got to pull this cable that's underneath because when he broke the steering column off, the shifter doesn't work." And so one side of me is saying, "I don't want to spend $50. He said, "How much?" I said, "Well, let's talk." He's running up. I said, "How far you got to go?" "In Charlotte." Like, I can just get you Bluefield or whatever. You know, $10 will get you Bluefield. All right, diesel truck. I get pretty good mileage. Keep going. He shut off $40, and I said, by now I'm witnessing to him. He's in church. Was in church. He's been out of church. He got 7 kids. His name's Rizzo. He told me his first name. His Italian name. He said, "My name's Rizzo." He said, "What's your name?" He said, "It sounded like Anchovio Rizzo or something like that, but I guess that's not. It's not Antonio. It's something else with the CH in the middle of it. Rizzo is his last name." And so let's keep going because you got to get to Charlotte. And I want you to break down on the side of the road. I don't run down on the side of the road. So we wanted $50 to shut it off. And I'm witnessing to him, and he's saved, but he's out of church. And he's having problems, and he's driving all the way to Dayton, Ohio for work because he's a construction worker and there's work up there available. And then he got his tools stolen, his wallet stolen, and he's just trying to get home. They tried to steal his truck, but they messed up the steering column. In my heart of hearts, as he's driving away, where I'm driving, I pulled up what he did. I thought, "Man, thanks for the opportunity. Thanks for as much as one is you've done it on one of the least of these, my brother, you've done it on. He's out of church. When the pump kicked off, we still sit there pumping. He's had problems. He says it's not going to cure all your problems to go to church. But it's going to cure all your problems if you stay in church. Stay fellowship, your fellowship relationship with God. It's not going to cure everything. Okay? It's not going to fix your pride, but it'll help. It's not going to give you, it's not going to pump your gas. It's going to help. It's not going to get your tools back or your wallet back. But get in church. You're right. Okay? We had a good fellowship, good conversation there for a minute. Why? It comes down to this. I would way rather understand that fasting is one thing and serving is completely different. To execute judgment and show mercy and compassion on every man his brother, and oppress not the widow, the fatherless, the stranger, the poor, and let none of you imagine evil against your heart, brother, that they refuse. I would so much rather be the person that says, sure, brother, let me get you gas, than to say, I fasted for 40 days. Now, I want to fast for 40 days. I've never done it. I've tried to, but can't get that far. I can't drive past the bakery, or the hot, fresh sign at the Krispy Kreme donut place. Or, it goes back to the bakery again, okay? But something inside me says, I want to do what he wants me to do. I want to execute judgment. I want to have compassion on people. I never want to turn my shoulder away from it and say, no, I won't do it. I never want to pull away, as this one did. Say, no, God, I won't do that. I'll be spiritual and fast publicly and let everyone know about it. But I ain't going to have that brother over there. They refused. And they missed out. And Zechariah is saying, you understand what you missed out on? This relationship with God, He can use you. You can talk to Him. He'll talk to you. He'll give you back to Jerusalem and a prosperous economy, but if the economy never comes back, you're going to be prosperous and you won't. And some of them, I'm sure, would say, yeah, Zechariah's right, I got it. But most of them just pulled the shoulder away and say, nope, you don't get it. You don't understand what I mean. Let's pray. Thank you, Lord Jesus, for this. Help us understand what you lay out for us in your word. It's not just words, suggestions. The Ten Commandments aren't multiple choice. But it's truth that we can apply to our life. Thank you for the truth you've given us tonight. I pray for each one here and those who are listening at home. I pray that you'll bless each family. Use us for your glory in our relationship with you. Thank you, Jesus, for loving us. Thank you, down on the cross for us, that we can have that relationship with you. That we can fast under you. We can eat when we have our feast days under you. Thank you for loving us. In Jesus' name we ask. Amen. Let's all stand the same. Page 375. Just as I am. Simple message. Great truth. He loves you.
Just as I am, without one plea, but that thy blood was shed for me, and that thou bidst me come to thee, O Lamb of God, I come. I come. One more verse. Just as I am, and waiting not to rid my soul of one dark blot, to thee whose blood can cleanse each spot, O Lamb of God, I come. I come.
Thanks for coming out tonight. Mark, can you dismiss us? Amen. Thanks for coming out tonight. Friday, I think. Tammy said When's Gary's funeral? In the